to be stopped! What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy JDiesel coming at you live with another episode of Under the Radar. Sadly, my partner in crime, Grandmaster Flowkey, could not be here tonight, but in his stead, we have a phenomenal guest. Give it up for Globo. Take it away, Globo. Why don't you tell people a little bit about yourself?
So my name's Globo. My real name's JR, but like everyone calls me Globo at tournaments. I started my journey in the FGC with Smash. So I started Smash 4 about maybe 4 years ago, and then I played Smash for up until now because I still play it. And then I was pretty good at Smash. I was on PR for a while. I won a couple tournaments and stuff.
Oh, you're PR rated. Wow.
Yeah, on the last season of Smash 4 PR, I was first.
Wow. That's no easy feat for Smash to actually be PR rated, to break top 10, let alone be first in your region.
Yeah, and then before that I was like 2, 4, 7, stuff like that. I was definitely really happy whenever I first got on PR. And then whenever Dragon Ball Fighters came out, that's when I first started playing FGC, and that was my first like real fighting game ever. It was definitely really hard to start it.
Wow, so Fighters is really what kind of brought you over to the more, like, I guess, traditional FGC side from Smash. And
Yeah.
how have you kind of found that? How did you find that adjustment going from something like Smash, which is more of like a platform fighter, to something a little bit more traditional?
Well, with Smash, the way people learn is it's like I wouldn't consider Smash a fighting game. It's kind of more of a platform game. It's a lot more like there's a lot more stuff to take into account, like directional influence.
Yeah.
Yeah, stages are all different, characters are all different, stuff like that. Smash is a game where you learn. It's like a lot less rigid, so you learn with like intuition. So you like have to play a bunch of hours to understand how everything works. So like I put in a million hours, like a lot of hours into Smash to get where I was. In regular fighting games, there's like turn taking, like I'm blocking now, so I gotta block, and then neutral's a lot more rigid. Like I can approach this way. I have assist to do this. It was like I had to get into a completely different state of mind with almost everything. Like there was like multiple things where I've had to like think about it completely differently. Like, of course, there was some like carryovers, but there was definitely a lot of different.
Interesting. So, what would you say the hardest concept was for you personally, trying to make that transition?
Yeah, so the hardest concept was definitely turn taking. I struggled with it for a long time. So like in Smash, when you get hit, there's like chance it's a combo where it doesn't hit, so you keep pressing. But in Dragon Ball or in any other fighting game, really, when you start blocking, you got to understand that it's your turn, and you don't just stop blocking. It's your turn to block, and the other opponent attack. Because in Smash, there isn't block strings or anything, so it's like
Right. It's a lot about pressure.
yeah, it was more about like stage influence, stage pressure, where you're at, where you're jumping. But in Dragon Ball, it's like I'm hitting your block, you have to block, and like I had to tell myself every time, like, okay, it's not your turn. Like it's literally it's not your turn. You can't do anything.
I can't do anything here, right? You got to resist the temptation.
For sure. That was by far the hardest part, or like understanding when to challenge against the person's turn. So like, a year ago, Naptown Clunch was my first tournament, and my friend Lotus, who's also on my team, he taught me what a stagger was, and I had no idea what a stagger was, and I was like, whoa, this is so cool. Like, wow, I never knew about this before. And then like 2 months later, I was staggering stuff, but I didn't understand how to get out of them. So I messaged him. I was like, yo, like I don't understand. Like people are staggering me, and I can't do anything because it's their turn the entire time. And then he's like, you can just press a button sometimes, and I'm just like, what?
What? So it's not as rigid? Uh-oh.
Yeah. No, yeah, I mean, it definitely. I was like, what? Like I can do that?
I was gonna say, so you really got to go through like the full journey where it's like, okay, I've learned how to do my block strings. Now I'm learning how to vary up my block strings.
Yeah, there's definitely like I worked on it a lot, and I watched like every time I or anything like I do something like that, I watch Dragon Ball videos, or like I watch matches, or like I'm basically always watching Dragon Ball videos to like absorb information.
I mean, and that's actually really huge. Is like a lot of people will ask, especially mid-level players, what can I do to get better? What resources should I be using? What should I be doing in order to try and improve as a player? What are
Mhm.
what are things that you look for or have used to success to help improve yourself? Because you obviously, if you're saying this was your first fighting game, I'm imagining you weren't quite this strong when you first started at the beginning of DBZ.
Yeah, I was definitely really bad at the beginning, and I remember like I was like really bad, like but like a lot of the stuff that helped me improve, like if I could say something that could help people is just like definitely a lot of people don't like mimicking top players because they like want to make their own play style or whatever. Like
Right.
you can you can make your own play style, but I took like a majority of how I play from other people because you can't like learn stuff all by yourself. So you have to steal like basically steal other people's stuff and see what they're doing, and then try and think in your mind what why did they make that why did they not make this decision? Why did they get hit here? Like I used to go through videos, and every time someone would get hit, I would look at the situation leading up until they got hit, and like analyze it of why that happened and why they got the hit, why they got hit, stuff like that. Like my Piccolo, I play Piccolo like I try to play him exactly like Goichi whenever he played him. Like almost like a lot of the stuff I learned was like coming straight from watching
So
him.
you'll really like break down the footage and go, these are his habits. These are the things I want to try to incorporate into my own play.
Oh yeah, and obviously watching your own videos is really important. Like
Yes.
anytime, I don't even want to know how many times I've watched my own videos. Like I watch at least one of my own videos at once a day. Like it's almost like kind of like obsessive, but like it helps me get better at a substantial rate for sure. And seeing like and then breaking my own self down. So like I broke down Goichi and how what he does and how he gets hit and stuff like that, and then I can do it to myself. Like why did I get hit? And then it's also important to see what you did good. So
Yes.
don't just look at when you got hit. Look at when you hit them, and then repeat doing that if it works.
That's actually really huge, and that's something that I think a lot of people do in fact miss. Is they'll look at, oh, these are the mistakes that I made, right? And usually it's something like, I shouldn't have pushed a button here, or why did I challenge with that option? But they don't think about, what have I practiced and done well that I'm finally implementing in match, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like people don't give them. It's weird. Some people give themselves way too much credit, and if you're one of those people, be a little harder on yourself. But you also don't want to be a player who gives himself no credit. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Where you sort of don't understand what you're actually good at, because then
Mm-hmm.
you're just kind of like, oh, I'm bad at everything. Well, it's like, no, you're actually good at these things, but you got to shore up these other areas so you can bring them up to the same level.
Yeah. It's definitely important to have a balance of critiquing yourself, like with the good and the bad.
Yeah, I very much agree. I find that all too often, a lot of people fall too far into one category.
Mm-hmm.
And I think and both undermine you in different ways. If you think being confident is really important, because you can tell when a player's not playing confident.
Yeah.
Where they're kind of scared, they don't want to go for anything, or they know better combo routes, but they're scared, so they go back to like their B and B, right? Where
Yeah.
it was pretty, if they had gone for maybe the slightly riskier version, they would have gotten the kill. Stuff like that, where it's like it can make really big differences, even in those small choices you make based on confidence. But you also see the person who's like, I'm invincible, I can't get hit, I'm just gonna go in over and over again, and you can throw away a game like that, right?
Yeah.
So
For sure.
it really cuts both ways. What has now one of the best things, one of those interesting things about you, I would say personally, it's got to be your team. All
Mm-hmm.
right, so why don't you talk a little bit about the Globo special here?
So I don't know if a lot of people know this, but the team I played before I played Piccolo was I played Majin Buu, and I played Majin Buu Gotenks Tien for a long time. And I didn't realize a lot of people didn't know that about me because like Majin Buu is like a unique character. Nobody played him basically.
Wait, you actually played? Wait, in season one?
Yeah, season one I played Majin Buu. Like he was my, like I was like I just got so close to mastering him, but they changed him so much I had to switch him. But if you look up my old videos, they're like all Majin Buu.
Wow. Oh, because
Yeah, I
I only knew of Aliyoon and really Breaker Dave in terms
yep.
of repping Boo in season one.
Yeah, ever since Super Saiyan Vegeta got nerfed, like the first assist. I don't know if you remember when there's assist, you used to not be able to reflect
Oh,
it.
I remember when it used. I remember when it used to jail. Those were dark times. We don't like to
Yeah,
think about those times.
yeah. So that patch where it got nerfed when I picked up Majin Buu, and I played him ever since then until this. And I played him through all the changes, whatever, all the good stuff he got, all the bad stuff, whatever.
Yeah.
And then I won a couple of tournaments in the Midwest, but I went to Frosty Faustings. That's the only major I played with him, and I didn't do well with that. Oh, I forgot. I also went to Evo and I got 65th.
That's not bad. Being just outside of the round of 64.
Yeah. And then after the Majin changes this patch, he got nerfed a lot, so I picked up Piccolo, and I knew from watching Apology Man that Piccolo Tien's good, and I liked playing Tien for a while, so I decided to keep him. And then since I played Tien on the anchor of my Gotenks or my Majin Buu team, I kind of wanted to keep him in the same spot.
Yeah.
So I needed to find a mid, but Piccolo kind of requires a beam, or not requires, but I wanted to play him with.
You wanted a beam to go with your Piccolo.
Yeah, so I played. I decided on Goku Black. Like a lot of people think, like basically, I wanted to build a super Piccolo team. So I Piccolo, and then I have like two of the best assists in the game. So Tien's probably like top 10 assists, and then Goku Black's like a top 5 assists because of the beam. So I basically just built a super Piccolo team.
I mean that. So I like that though. So this is actually kind of brings us to an interesting point to like team building, right? Because you have a choice, right? You can pick 3 strong characters and just slap them on a team and go, all right, this is my team, right? I'm gonna play Bardock. I'm gonna play Super Saiyan Goku. I'm gonna play GT Goku. Done. Team done. Or you kind of took the opposite approach where you said, I want to play this character.
Yep. There's definitely,
and I want to enable this character to do their thing.
Yeah, unlike other fighting games, like where there's like definitive roles,
Yes.
like in 3-person fighting game, in Dragon Ball, there's either 3 point characters or point character 2 assist, and 2 support characters, and the 2 support characters one is definitely a lot like rarer.
I agree. I think that actually used to be a little bit more common in season 1. In season 2, I think 3-point characters has largely taken over. Mainly because it feels like for your team to really be competitively viable, all of your 2 character shells need to work.
Yep.
Right?
That was one really important thing that I made sure happened with all my teams, because one of my Majin teams I played before was I played Goku. This is when I first played Goku Black. I played Goku Black, Majin Buu, Saiyan Vegeta. That's my first Majin Buu team I ever played. And if my Super Saiyan Vegeta died, I couldn't DHT between Majin Buu and Goku Black.
So
Okay,
yeah.
That was like after Evo, I was like, I'm dropping. Bummed. I can't like my Super Saiyan Vegeta would die, and I'd be like, what do I like? I can't even do all my damage on my Super.
Right, because then it puts you at such a liability at that point. You're like, my team just doesn't function if this order happens to come up.
Yeah, I made sure, but yeah, you make sure it works on every pairing is like one of the most important parts about a build. If you're doing support, like a support team,
I hard agree on that. So you went through your mod. Also, before we go on real quick, why did they do Majin Buu like they did? I actually don't understand. I don't know if you ever got a chance to see it. Chat, this goes to you too. Did you ever see the character popularity data they put out?
Yes, Majin Buu was like bottom.
Majin Buu was the least played character in the entire game. And they're like, you know what? This character needs to see less play. He's too much. The restands are too good.
He was a very difficult character to play. He's still a difficult character to play, but he was pre-patch. He was very difficult. So like, I played him for so long, and I was getting results, but like it was hard to stay consistent because it's so difficult. He's like the concepts he played so differently. But the reason I think he got changed, like I was obviously really sad because I spent so much time and I built this name for myself playing Majin Buu or whatever, and now he's
gone. He's a distant memory.
Character. Yeah, he's not good. Like I didn't have any connections to Majin Buu. Like I like Majin Buu obviously, but I really like how he played. He was like the most unique character. Like every character in Dragon Ball is like you hit the character, you hit them, you hit the character, and then you block them. But Majin Buu
I
was like,
mean, what you're telling me that having the same optimal B and B combo route for like half the cast isn't a problem?
yeah, I hated that. So Majin Buu was like had a different plan, so that's
Okay.
why I picked him first. But then they made him like everybody else. I think they did it because they just made universal changes. So like season 1, season 2, they were like a lot of people don't realize it, but they removed every restand in the game besides they removed. So Nappa used a restand where it was like from the grab of the
Into the
Cyberman,
Cyberman grab.
and they removed that. They removed that just that specific one, but they didn't realize that every one of his other hits also restand. They removed Gotank's restands. He had one. He had a solo one that was before the patch, but they removed it. They removed Zamasu's restand. They removed Vidal's restand. None of them were good, but like they were all restands.
So they decided they just universally did not want restands in their game.
Yep. And then Majin Buu used to have this corner route where he could corner you. He would carry you from the middle to the corner, and you still do a combo. And that accidentally got changed because of how they changed fall speeds. So
really,
they didn't even mean to do that. And then
so he would. Are you about to tell me that Majin Buu was an indirect casualty of the
yes,
patch? Oh my
They,
god!
they accidentally did all of this, and then they buffed his EX butt slam. They were like, you can throw it after, which is cool. But then they're like, okay, but now we got to nerf it real. Like, so they changed how medium cartwheel works, and they made it slower. But then they caused a fighting knockdown. So now he basically has the same combo as everyone else in the game. But they didn't realize that would destroy his corner routes and all of his corner pressure.
Oh my god! So they tried to standardize him, but in the process, they just killed everything that was special about him.
It was like completely on accident because they wouldn't like they didn't nerf him on purpose, like because like they've nerfed characters on purpose before. Like it's obvious when they nerf characters on
right,
purpose.
it'll be specifically like, all right, Bardock, we want you to stop doing this Oki, or Android 16, we want you to stop doing this Oki.
Yeah, but this one, it was just like a bunch of system changes, and then one change that really like it's hard to talk. I've thought about it so much. I've been like, why would they do this? Like, why did they do this to me? Like, nobody even plays this character. He's like top 5, maybe top 10, whatever. Like, it doesn't matter. He's not getting any results. Like, Breaker Dave wins locals. He gets top 48 Evo, stuff like that.
The close, Majin Buu never came close to like dominate. I can't even say right. He didn't do anything. In the serious tournament scene, if you look at like character frequency, does he even have a top 8 at a super major?
No, he has no top 8.
So, I'm sorry to bring up such painful memories of the artist formerly known as Majin Buu.
It's okay. I've got no.
You've got, but you know what? This allowed you to blossom, right? Majin Buu was an unfortunate accident, but now you've got something new. You've got the shiny Piccolo team, and you're still playing Goku Black. And obviously, I gotta ask, why are you still on Goku Black?
Well, like I said earlier, I wanted a mid. So, but I don't like for saying Goku's 2H, and I also just
interesting. Okay.
Well, it's not that I hate Super Saiyan Goku's 2H, it's that Goku Black's 2H.
I mean, his 2H, if there is one button you have to really respect against Goku Black, it is 2H, because it will catch you from almost anywhere.
Yeah. Also, from like an aesthetic point, I think Goku Black looks so much cooler. Colors. Like, just the colors of all his moves, cooler.
You know what? I will also concede that one. Also, his supers look pretty cool.
Yeah.
He does have that going for him.
Oh, also, a lot of people don't know this, but Goku Black's level 1, like the blade one, it does like only like 200 less than Tien.
Really? The new Divine Blades?
Yeah. It got buffed a while ago, but it's only
I knew it got buffed, but it's that close to Tien damage?
Yeah.
What? Because I know there's been a couple times where I've gotten hit by it, and I'm like, I'm definitely not dead. And then I'll be dead, and I'm like, really?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, a lot of people don't know that.
Wow, I knew the damage got buffed, but I did not expect that it was that big a difference. That's actually kind of crazy.
Yeah, no, like, I didn't believe it. Like, I didn't even know that until my friend was like, hey, did you know that Goku Black does 200 less? And I was like, no way. And I went back and tested it, and I was like, the heck? How did I not even know?
How did I never realize this? So your team
Yeah,
actually, your 3 level 1 DHC is probably insane on damage.
yeah, it's really, really
How
good.
much do you put out with like a B and B into 3 level 1s?
I mean, so like how I decide if I'm gonna do 3 level 1s is I look at where their life is
Yeah.
compared to the sparking meter. So it can kill like right on the far edge of the sparking. So like that far, it's really strong.
Wow.
And sometimes I play it safe. It might be a little bit more, but I do the cutoff at the sparking meter at the end of it.
And that's actually another really good tip for people who are listening is having visual references on screen to tell if your 3 level 1s are going to kill.
Yeah, or like level 1, level 2.
Right, like to figure out how much meter do I actually need to spend here to get the kill? Because there are plenty of times I've seen people go level 1 into level 3 when you could have gone level 1, level 1, level 1 instead.
Yeah.
So that's actually really interesting. So you've got a very high damage output team. Now, how do you feel about Goku Black's neutral?
So the only thing weird about my team that like is different than what I used to have is every character besides Tien on my Majin Buu team had rapid Ki Blast,
Yeah.
and now I have Piccolo with the homing one, and then I have Tien with the single Ki Blast. And Goku Black is the closest thing I have to multiple Ki Blasts, which he has the 5S and the 6S, that little blade thing.
Yeah, they did. They also sped it up too. So
yeah, the 6S. Well, there's two of them. There's a 5S and then a 6S. 5S is the slow one, and then 6S is the really fast one.
yeah.
So that's one of my main tools. I also how I play Goku Black is I kind of play like really like boring. That's the best way I can put it. Like I run away, I do Ki Blast, and then as soon as a person comes near me, I super jump up and dive kick to the other side of the screen. Like that's literally like that's.
So you're not about to you're not about to scramble. You just want to be gone.
Yeah, I'm running away. I mean, Goku Black doesn't have the best mix-up, so it's like I'm just gonna wait till I hit you in neutral one time, and then I'm gonna kill you. But that's definitely like I remember looking at the Twitch chat at Combo Break, and they were like, "Wow, like why is this guy playing like this? Like he is so boring. Like he's just doing dive kick and then doing the 5S, like spamming it." And then I'm like, I don't care. This is how I play.
I mean, and that's really important though, right? Because you found a way that playing the character works for you.
Mm-hmm.
And even if it's, lame or whatever people want to label it, you've realized this is what works for me. This is what I'm going to do because I don't want to, I don't want to engage because I don't feel like my character has the tools they need to engage.
Mm-hmm.
So that's Goku Black. The other character who is very popular, especially towards the end of season 1, but has kind of fallen out of favor here into season 2, has been Tien.
Yeah.
Why do you think that drop off has happened? And what has led to you sticking by the character as you've gone in?
Okay, well, first off, the drop off happened because double supers got removed.
Yep, you couldn't dump meter the same way.
Yeah, Tien's worthless. But then it was looking pretty grim before the last buff, because it was like he just can do level 1 and level 3, and he can't DHC in a Chaozu, whatever. But this patch, not only did they buff the damage on his level 1 and level 3, they buffed both of them, and they nerfed how much damage he took, so he took less damage. But they also gave him a level 2, so that lets him basically like it almost does as much damage as 2 level 1s pre-patch. Like
okay, so it's close enough to make it work.
Yeah, it does maybe 500 less, but like that was a really good buff they gave. But they also, a lot of people don't know this, but medium 236M medium volleyball slide, the ground one, has a lot of armor. I don't know how exactly armor it has, but it has fairly quick armor, and it goes through beam.
So you're not actually sliding under the beam though, right?
No. So I was playing when I played Alucard at Combo Breaker. It was Super Saiyan Goku versus Tien. He was throwing Ki Blast, and I was like, okay, whatever. He's gonna do the beam.
Yep.
Because that's what everyone does. They throw Ki Blast and they beat jump or beat Super Dash.
I'm definitely guilty of that.
Yeah. And, well, I mean, it's good.
It's your bread and butter.
Yeah. And then as soon as the Ki Blast ended, I inputted the 236M, and it went full screen straight through the beam. And he was like, like everyone. I remember everyone went crazy behind me because like I guess 3/4 of the people in the room didn't know that that was a thing, and it just went straight through the beam. And they also buffed it to go further, so it used to only go half screen, but for now it goes full screen when it goes through the
Wait,
move.
what? So it is.
Yeah.
So it is armored against beams and goes full screen.
Yeah, it's like Cooler 6/8, but a little bit slower.
That's actually insane.
Yeah.
I knew the distance was pretty far. I've never seen anyone use. Well, I mean, I guess I've never seen anyone try to use it full screen.
Yeah, but also, so like if someone jails me with Vanish, and I know they're gonna press buttons, I can do the 2-3-6-7, and it beats the buttons also. So I
Okay,
don't
so
know
armor comes out frame 1.
Yeah, I don't think it's frame 1. I think it's like frame 3 or something like that. But
Okay.
it's definitely an unusual move, and I can't even explain some of the stuff it does.
See, now I want to sit down in the lab and like learn about this move a little bit because I had no idea it had some of these properties. Like I knew that it was immune to like small ki blasts, but I had no idea it was immune to beams.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the most unique moves he has.
That's actually really interesting. And we talked a little bit earlier, but talk a little bit more about his assist and what kind of utility you see with it. Because a lot of people, when they discuss Tien's assist, they go, oh, well, it's worse than like a Goku beam, so why am I going to use Tien's assist? So what do you see in his assist that kind of sets it apart from some of the other options we have?
Yeah, so the thing about Tien's assist is that most assists in the game, when you call them, right, they appear in front of you. Like GT Goku walks forward when he does his assist, and he appears in front of you.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know this, but Tien's assist actually appears slightly behind the character, and he doesn't move. So it allows it to be used in a more defensive way. So one thing I actually just realized a couple of days ago that I could is like, let's say Goku's shooting Ki Blast, right? I mean neutral, and I can't advance forward, and I can't call an assist because I'm blocking. If I reflect one assist and then I call Tien, I reflect one Ki Blast, and then Tien comes out and goes through all the Ki Blasts, and I can punish him. It's really nice. Like I didn't realize that for a while.
Whoa. So okay, so you reflect the first Ki Blast, then call Tien?
Yeah, because if I start blocking Ki Blast, I can reflect at any time to reflect one of them. But I can't call it if I'm blocking it, so I have to reflect one of them and then press the assist in that gap, and then Tien comes behind me, and then I'm protecting and blocking. And
So your body blocking for Tien while he blows through the projectiles.
Yep, and then I can run over there and punish because it has a lot of hits done.
I will say that is one thing that one of the strongest players in my region, Big Bag Mill, he plays Tien, and the pickups he gets off that assist sometimes are just insane. Because it's also, I don't know if it's the speed of the beam or what, but it catches a lot of people half stage. It really does.
Yep. A while ago, it used to have good hits done, obviously, but it would never have great. But there was a buff a while ago that they gave them like probably about double the amount of hits done. So a lot of people really like, including.
Yeah. Now the one thing that Mill has complained about, and I'll ask you if you've had a similar experience, do you find that Tien gets picked up for happy birthdays more than other assists?
Yeah. So, well, it depends. If I'm blocking, and then Tien's caught behind me, he'll get caught. But because he comes out, he stays out on the screen for a long time after it's over. So that's the only thing that's annoying. And it's like has a relatively decent amount of startup or whatever. But he definitely like there's certain assists like Yamcha where he disappears immediately after it's over. But Tien just kind of chills there and is like, I'm recharging my Shodan Ray or whatever.
Look, he just had to expend life energy for that. You really think he's about to get up out of here? At least get this man a drink. Come on.
Yeah, he's just chilling there.
Taskmaster Globo out here working his Tien to death. But so all right, so we've covered 2/3 of this team, and last but not least, Gohan's real father. How you feeling about this character?
I just really like how his Oki works, and I mean he's obviously one of the best characters in the game. Really, his only weakness is that he's fuzzyable.
Yeah, that is one thing that kind of hurts him. I don't think he suffers from the fuzzyableness as much as other characters, though, just because of the way his neutral plays.
Yeah, it just depends which order you have him. Because if you have him point, he obviously won't get fuzzy that much. Can't get snapped in if he's in point.
Yep. All right, and it looks like we're going to be winding down here. Today is going to be a bit of a shorter episode, but thank you so much for coming on today, Globo.
Yeah, thanks for having me out. I had a good time.
Absolutely, and it was fun to kind of hear about your team and some of the stuff you've done. Obviously, we're going to be jump into the wrap up here. Anyone you want to shout out, talk about? I know you've got an esports org behind you, all that jazz.
Yeah, I'd like to shout out Scorpius and my coach Doc, and also my girlfriend Taryn, my family. Obviously, they support me in all my stuff.
All right, absolutely fantastic. Well, anyway, that is going to do it for us today. A little bit of a short episode. We'll be back next week with your regularly scheduled programming. Flowkey will be on the desk with me. Thank you so much for joining us today, Globo. Anyways, I have been JDiesel. And you get to also do your own goodbye.
And I'm Globo.
And this has been Under the Radar. Thank you so much, folks. We'll catch you later.
Thanks.
You need to be stopped. Say goodbye. I'll erase you completely.